Hi everyone, this is Aga from EurekaCrystalBeads.com and I'm here with another fun DIY jewelry tutorial for you. But before I get started, just a quick reminder to check out the rest of our channel. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss any of our fun content. In today's video, we're going to be making a beading wire or cord bracelet that I call the Northern Crescent. This is a colorway that I made with the colors that I like, but the version that I'm going to show you is made with beads from our mid-January 2026 beads collection, the Snow Queen Collection Light. This is the beautiful inspiration photo for this collection, and all of the beads are from it, as well as the magnetic clasp. But you are going to need some more supplies to make this bracelet. It's super easy to make, and here is what you need. In the collection, we have 5 grams of 6Os. These are Miyuki 6Os in this beautiful lustrous AB white color, and I think this size is perfect for this bracelet. Look how nice this looks. I do think that 8 O's could work as well, but the 6 O's are the perfect size. Then you're going to need some crescent beads, some 15 O's. And when it comes to findings, these are not necessary, but definitely useful. So here I have wire guards, and you just need to make sure that the holes in those wire guards can fit 2 strands of your beading wire or cord that you're using. Then I have crimp tubes, and mine are 1.8 millimeters diameter. And for these ones, you need to make sure that they can fit 4 strands of your beading wire or cord. The next thing should be crimp covers, and you can get some nice sets of crimps and crimp covers that will fit on top of them. Also, the covers are not necessary, they just make it look a little bit nicer, like in here. This just looks like a bead and covers the crimp. Next up, I have 2 jump rings. Although the wire guards do fit through the holes in the clasp, but they end up being kind of stiff, so I decided to add jump rings as well. For my wire, I'll be using soft touch wire that's 0.014 inches in diameter. So it's a fine wire, and the soft touch will produce a really nice and supple effect for this bracelet. And it's also kind of a little bit thinner, so it will fit better in all of those findings. I do recommend that you use this. Definitely nothing thicker than 0.014 inch. For the tools, I'll be using some flat nose chain nose pliers to open close my jump rings. You can also use them to flatten your crimp tube and close your crimp bead, or you can use special crimping pliers. Here I have pliers that are perfect for my size of crimps. And I have some wire cutters to cut my beading wire, because you should not cut it with your scissors, even though it's kind of thin and soft. And you definitely need some wire cutters, because if you cut it with your scissors, this will dull the scissors, okay? So I think that's it. Let's start creating. Alright, so you have to start by cutting a piece of your wire that will be roughly 4 times the length of the bracelet that you want to get. For me, it's about 6 3/4 of an inch for my wrist, so I'm just gonna cut 4 times that. So I'll measure it twice, and then fold this wire in half like that, and cut about in here. Alright, so this is the length that I'm going to be using, and the start of the bracelet is super easy, much easier than the end of it. We're going to be using both ends of our wire to make the bracelet, and you simply start by taking your wire guard and putting one end of your wire through each of the holes. Just like this, and you slide the wire guard to the end of your wire. So technically to the half length of your wire. Now you want to take one of the crimp tubes and you want to put both ends of your wire through it. Slide it to the middle of your length, and now we're going to crimp that. So a quick crimping guide. First, you want to use the hole in your crimping pliers that looks like a kidney bean or like a lips, like mouth. And then you want to use the one that looks like an oval. So I put the crimp in this hole in here and I squeeze. I go up and down, squeezing a little bit, making sure that the entire crimp tube is this shape. It has this indentation here. Now I go to the other hole, the front hole, and I place my crimp tube like this, so the other way around, so that when I squeeze, it folds in half. I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and I'm just going to squeeze it further so that it's holding on as hard as it can. Make sure that it holds on. Now again with my chain nose pliers, I'm going to take my crimp cover. I like holding it like this and I just put in the crimp and gently close it over that crimp. I squeeze it from all different angles to make sure that it's nice and closed. And now it looks like a nice little bead. And here's another reason why I like adding a jump ring as well, because you can just do it without anything, without a clasp dangling around. You can just open and close the jump ring and attach everything together. Anyway, it's time to start our bracelet. And let me just put this one to the side as a guide. So the first thing we want to do is we want to pick up 2 of those 6 O's. So I'm just going to the end of my strands. Now throughout the bracelet, I'm going to try and pick those beads that have roughly the same size, because some of them can be a little bit thinner, a little bit thicker. So I just want them to be the same size. And now it's time for my crescent beads. I'm going to decide which direction I'm going to add them in, and I'm just going to continue doing that for the entire bracelet. So I just make sure that I add all of them in the same direction. That was the crescent. Now I need 2 15-0s. Put each of them on a strand. Another crescent. Putting it on the same way. One hole in the other hole. 2 15-0s. And the last crescent, we're going to be adding 3 crescent beads at a time. So here I have all 3 of them with 15-0s in between. I can slide that down. And this is what I have. You want to pull the wire so that it arranges them more or less even. You can add an 11-0 in the beginning here to make them a little more equal, a little more even there. There is no point adding 15-0s really, because they will just get hidden in those 6 O's because they are small enough to fit inside their holes. Don't worry about this yet. You don't need to pull tight. I'm going to go to the ends of my wire again, and I'm going to add a single 6-0 on one end of the wire and 2 6-0s on the other end of the wire. As you can see, this one is a little bit thinner, but for the middle one, that's going to be okay. And now you want to crisscross the ends of your wire in that second 6-0 that you added. So you want them to go like this. And when you pull tight, you want to get something like that. Now I'm going to put a single 6-0 on either of the ends. And it's time for the crescents again. Here's 1, 2 15-0s, my second crescent. And again, you need to pay attention which way you're putting them on, because you want to make sure that they are added on the same direction as these previous ones. So you just need to look at which end of the wire is which. 2 15-ohs again, because we added 2 crescents, and now the last of the crescent beads. And when you pull it down, you get this. Now it's time for the 6-ohs again. So 2 6-ohs on one end, whichever one, and 1 6-oh on the other end. And now you want to crisscross your wires in this last 6-oh. So you just put the other end of the wire through it, the opposite direction. Now 1 6-oh on both ends. And it's the crescents again. Here is my crescent sequence. And if I slide it down, I just make sure that they're added facing the right way. And I make sure that the 6-ohs are placed the way I like. And I continue with another 6-oh sequence and then another crescent sequence until I reach the length that I want my bracelet to be. Alright, I'm done with the length of my bracelet. For a wrist like mine, that's just under 7 inches. 8 of those sections, of those crescent sections, is enough. And I still have plenty of wire left. Now you want to finish with this crescent section. And just like on this other side, I want to pick up 2 of the 6-ohs. I put 1 on each strand. Slide them down, and as you pull tight as you go, these 6-ohs should straighten out and be nice and evenly placed like this. I'm going to put on my crimp tube now on both of my strands. Slide it down. Now I'm going to be putting on my wire guard, and I want to kind of crisscross my wires in the wire guard. So I am first going to put 1 strand into each of the holes. That's 1, that's 2. So like that. Slide that down. Now it's going to get a little tricky, especially with this tension. As you can see, you gotta pull it tight every now and then. It's gonna get a little loose as you go, but don't worry about that. You can always pull it tighter with pliers. And now with the wire that is coming out of this top hole, I'm gonna go down to the bottom hole where my other wire is coming out, and I'm gonna go down there. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna go down the crimp tube as well. So this is what you want. Like that. Now this other end, I wanna pull through the opposite side, down the opposite side. Alright, so it's there. And I want to guide it through the crimp tube as well, which it's already passing through, as you can see over here. And now you want to pull both ends quite tight. It doesn't have to be like super tight because there's going to be a crimp cover here anyways, but you want it to be somewhat tight. And now I'm holding the ends of my wire with this hand as I reach for the crimping pliers. As I said, you can just flatten this crimp tube with the flat nose pliers as well, but I'm just gonna use my crimping pliers here, just like that, and I go up and down, making this kidney bean shape, folding it in half. Now you might see why it's useful to have it a little bit loose so that you can fit your pliers in there. Folding it in half. And I'm gonna make sure that it's folded tight. Like this. Now I can trim off the ends of my wire. So I'm getting my wire cutters one at a time. And I'm cutting it close to the crimp tube, but it doesn't have to be that close because there's still going to be a cover in there. Right, so I pick up my crimp cover. I like holding it like this. And I'll just put it on and close it up as best I can. And that's the bracelet. The only thing left to do is add the jump rings. I have this one pre-opened because I was seeing if it can fit both my wire guard and the clasp, and yes it can. So this one is a 4mm 22 gauge jump ring, I think, or 21 gauge. Now I just need to close it, which is not going to be that easy because it's a magnetic clasp. So it kind of magnetizes with my pliers, but there it is. Now the other end. And there it is, nice and elegant. Here it is again. This is the bracelet that I made with beads from our mid-January 2026 collection light, the Snow Queen collection light. You can get the collection as well as all of the individual supplies at eurekacrystalbeads.com. If you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you never miss a project like this one. I hope this little tutorial was useful and showed you one more way to use those 6/0 round beads and those crescent beads in a very, very simple and easy way. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!